Winter, you're going to be free tonight, right? We're having a little get-together for drinks tonight, so please come around 8 p.m. at this place. Hey, Winter, do you mind replying to me?
Sorry, I was just having a meeting at work. I'm not going to be able to make it tonight, sorry.
Huh? You of all people are going to act cocky like that?
Well, you're asking me to go out with you all at 8 p.m. tonight, and it's almost 5 already.
I'm sure once you get out of work today, you're just going right home to watch TV all night, right? If it's something that you really want to watch, just record it and watch it later.
Actually, I have plans to meet with someone else tonight. And when it comes to that little get-together you're throwing, it's meant to help you find someone to date, right? Every time you invite me out, you always say it's to have drinks or it's a class reunion, but in reality, every time it's been in order to help you find a man, right?
Well, if I said they were all meant to help me find a man, you would never come, right?
Well, I don't have a reason to go. You just bring me to those events to use me as someone you can bash on, thinking that'll help you find somebody. All that does for me is embarrass me.
Listen, Winter, I'm just trying to be a good friend by showing the both of us around to some men in the hopes that the both of us end up with husbands someday. So if anything, I'd like you to thank me for doing that all the time.
Well, it's never fun for me, though.
Well, because you're supposed to find someone after me. I want you to sit beside me and take the crap I give you, and then once I've gotten myself the man I want, you're free to go find yourself one. Honestly, it's the best this way because I help make you look more attractive. Let's be real here, you're a very basic woman with not that many features that men want. So by having me as a friend at all these events, I am practically handing you a power-up that you can use. Sorry that you're just that out of touch with the man-hunting game, that it makes you feel bad when you have to sit next to 100 like me. If you don't have more friends like me around you, you know, the loud and crazy type, then men are never going to notice you.
Well, I don't like any of that, hence why I don't want to go anymore.
Oh, come on now. Back in elementary school and back in middle school and back in high school, I was always there by your side helping you find boys, right? And when it came to the high school beauty contest, I was there helping you win.
I really never liked to stand out that much, though, so you're forcing me through all of that was awful.
But because of me, you became pretty popular, right?
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, anywho, I've already gotten some people together to go out to that matching party, so I need you there. You have no other choice now but to come. Tonight, I have a lot of fighting spirit, and I don't want it going to waste.
You always have a lot of fighting spirit, though, when you do go to those things.
But today's different. Today, a really popular comic artist is going to be there, and he has sold millions of copies of his latest series.
A comic artist?
Right now, his most popular series is being made into a TV show, and he has been in all sorts of magazines. He is so popular that I bet most of the people we hang out with know him. And today, I am planning on making that man my best friend, and hopefully, something more in the future. One of my other friends that happens to know him personally said they'd introduce me to him as well today.
Fiona, are you even interested in things like comic books?
Not really. Comics are for nerds, right?
I don't think that's a good way of looking at it. Right now, comics and movies and shows based on them are a big deal. And they make a ton of money with their collectibles and toys as well.
Yeah. I don't really care for comic books, but I do happen to care for money.
Money?
Being a famous comic artist doesn't just get you all the attention, but the money as well. The fact that he has a TV series in the making right now based off his comics tells me he's in for another large paycheck. I'm sure everyone is going to want to watch his series. Once that's over, movie producers and people like that will be flooding to ask him to make more movies and material off his comics. And what's even better about him is that since he works on comics all the time, he's most likely never out of his house for anything. Meaning that once I've made him mine, there will be no other woman that can get to him, right? He is the #1 person that I need to be getting married to right now.
I wonder. But if you both don't share some of the same hobbies, I'm not sure if things will work out in the long run.
You're a real idiot. That's why you still haven't found a man to marry yet. The most important thing when it comes to marriage is money. And the other most important thing is someone that will give you space. I want a man with lots of money who is too focused on his work to be bothered with me.
Then what you're wanting is not a partner, but someone you can get money from without having to really do anything with them. Really, I think you're better off finding yourself a bank or something to do that for you.
That's 100% correct. The man is supposed to make the money in order to make his woman happy, and in return, her being happy will keep her around him longer. Understood? In other words, I'm going to get myself that walking pile of cash who calls himself a comic artist today. If I'm able to make things work between him and I, then my life will be set forever.
Well, if that's what you're doing, then I really can't go. I already have plans and I really don't care to be your wingman or whatever anymore. And I think after today, you can just stop inviting me to go out with you all together. Now I have some work to finish up on, so that's it from me today.
You don't want any leftovers? I will be taking the comic artist tonight, but you can have access to all the other men there. Hey, Winter! If you regret not coming tonight, I don't want to hear about it. If you start asking me to introduce you to any men after this, I'm not going to bother. Hi, Winter. It's been too long. How have things been between you and Fiona recently? I heard from her that a little while ago you and her went to a matching party, right?
Hi, Aunt Laura. Sorry for not talking to you in so long. The only reason I went with her to that party the last time is because she said it was a class reunion. But in reality, it was a matching party. Seems all she really cares about right now is finding herself a man at those strange events.
She just wants to hurry up and get married soon is all. Anyway, I contacted you today to ask you something.
What do you have to ask?
Last night, were you at a restaurant called The Bread?
How do you know about that?
Well, that restaurant happens to be run by my husband's friend. And since yesterday was their opening ceremony, we went there to have some drinks and food to celebrate with his friend.
Is that right? Well, can you please tell Uncle Rick's friend that it was very delicious, the dinner we ate last night?
I'll let him know. So, was the man you were with last night your boyfriend?
So you saw me with him?
Is he your boyfriend?
Yes, he is. The man I was with was my boyfriend. Well, actually, you should call him my fiancé now.
Fiancé?
He only just proposed to me a little while ago, so not many people know quite yet. We haven't even gotten around to planning a lot of it out yet either, and the only people who really know about this are my parents.
Well, well, well. So you're going to end up getting married before even Fiona could. I mean, ever since you and her were little girls, you've both been such good friends with one another and done everything together, right? And, well, from what I could tell, she was always ahead of you when it came to becoming a woman and things like that, right? She was the one to learn how to write before you, how to cook before you, how to get a boyfriend before you. She's always been ahead of you in all those sorts of things. So I was really expecting her to be the first one to get married before you as well, but... Well, you've really pulled ahead of her here, getting married before she could even find herself a man.
Yeah.
Where is he working right now? How much does he make in a year? Where is he from?
When we get married, we can talk about all of that more.
You can tell me a little about him right now. Where is he living right now? I could see by the way he was dressed that he's a very professional man, and he had a very nice watch on his wrist at the time. Where did you ever meet a man like that?
I'm sorry, Aunt Laura. I have a meeting to get to for work right now, so I'm going to have to excuse myself. In a little bit, once we figure things out, I'll let you know about the wedding and all that. And as for this whole thing of having a fiancé and getting married thing, can you please not tell Fiona about it yet?
Why can't I tell her?
I'd like to tell her myself. Now I have to go, so I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Winter, what the hell is going on here? You turned down my invite to come with me to find ourselves some men to go on a date with your fiancé?
She told you?
And from what I heard, he seems to have a lot of money. There's no way you found a man like that.
I told her not to tell you yet because you'd be a pain in my butt about it.
My mom would never keep quiet about something like this.
I guess so. She's always been the type who can't keep her dang mouth shut, always spilling the beans about everything and anything in order to create drama.
Now you tell me about this fiancé?
I'm getting married, Fiona.
I'm not messing around right now. Who said you could get married before me?
Is that a bad thing?
It sure as hell is. I should be the one getting married before you.
I don't think there's ever been a set path for who gets to get married first.
I've also been shown a picture that my mom took. He is way too good looking for a plain loser like you. And that wristwatch he has on, that's one of those insanely expensive ones, right?
She took a picture of us?
She took it in secret.
You're kidding me. She'd do something like that.
So, is it true that you're planning on marrying that sexy man?
Well, that's what him and I have been talking about. We haven't chosen an exact date yet for the wedding, but we're wanting one soon.
Where will it be happening at?
As of right now, we're thinking of having it in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Both of us don't really like to stand out at all too much, so we've been looking for a place that's away from everyone. There we can just have a close family and friends come, and that'll be enough for us. And since this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for us, we decided we want to have the wedding in a nice, secluded resort for all of our guests.
So you're going to be getting married before me, and to add salt to the wound, you're having your wedding in Hawaii? Do you really think it's okay to be that stupid? Because to me, it sure as hell isn't okay. Winter, that fiancé of yours and that wedding, you give both to me right now.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm saying that I'll take your place for you. He has enough money to throw a wedding in Hawaii, right? And when looking at his face, there's not a thing wrong with it. He also has a good sense of fashion based off the clothing he had on. A man with that kind of high-brand, expensive clothing on would do so much better with me as his wife.
High-brand, expensive clothing. Was the clothing he had on yesterday really that expensive looking to you?
You really have no idea what's going on, do you? Everything he was wearing was very high-brand fashion that is hard to obtain in this town. Hard to obtain anywhere besides, like, New York City or something.
Well, I never knew anything about that, but what I'm more concerned about right now is you asking me to hand over my fiancé when we only just got engaged. There's no way I'd let you have him, right?
Back in high school, you gave me a boyfriend, right?
You stole him from me, Fiona. He was my first love, and you stole him.
Then I guess I'll be stealing another of your boyfriends.
What? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now? This is a lot different than a high school boyfriend. We are engaged right now.
And? It doesn't matter to me what your guys' titles are. It's far too easy to steal from you, so that's what I'm going to do.
You cut that out. You need to go out and find a single man of your own to get at one of those parties or whatever the hell you've been doing. Stop bothering me with your crazy ideas.
And the most recent party was a bust. That comic artist that was said to be coming never showed up. And at the age we're at now, all the men that show up to these parties are all useless to me. So I'm done trying to find myself a husband there.
What the heck?
So now that my mom was kind enough to tell me about your fiancé for me, I'm clear to go and get him. Thank you for finding him for me. It's a lot easier to just steal men from someone else than it is to go to those matching parties.
Wait a second, Fiona. Right now, my fiancé and I are in a very important and busy part of our lives. Stop trying to ruin this for us. Fiona?
Winter, are you doing all right? I'm sure you're not, though. I was able to steal your fiancé after all. And right at this moment, he's in this room with me. And it wasn't just him that I was able to get, but your wedding that's in Hawaii as well. Sorry about that.
Huh? I'm having my wedding right now here in town, though.
What? What are you talking about? Your fiancé is literally sitting right beside me now.
Actually, I want to know what you're talking about, Fiona. I was just out on stage with my fiancé a second ago getting married, and we're preparing for the dance right now.
Hold it right there. What is going on here?
Honestly, I'm not sure myself. A little while back, you were going on about how much you wanted to steal my fiancé from me, but for the past 3 months, nothing has been happening between us. I just assumed you gave up or something.
Wait, what's this about having your wedding right now in town? You should be having the wedding in Hawaii, right?
I suppose we did want to have the wedding out there, but I had a lot of people asking to come to my wedding. And since the amount of people wanting to come would be too many for the Hawaii-based location, we ended up having the wedding here. There is a famous person at this wedding after all, so it makes sense that a lot of people would want to come to it.
Famous person? Who?
My fiancé. And actually the vows are already over with, and we handed in the marriage papers already, so I really should be calling him my husband now.
What famous person?
The comic artist that you were saying everybody knows about?
Huh? Comic artist?
You do remember the time I told you I got hired to work for a publishing company, right? And the most recent series that he got started on happens to be published by the company I work for, and I managed the publishing of his work. When the comics start going out on the shelves, the one in charge is going to change. But as of right now, I'm the one that oversees all the work done to help create the actual published material. But that's not all I've been working on, as I'm also helping him get his comic series turned into movies.
You said that I said everyone knows him. Is he Will? Will Hamilton?
That's him.
He was the man that was supposed to come to that party to see me.
Right, and when I went out to dinner with him that night, he told me all about you.
He told you about me?
He said something along the lines of one of his friends wanting him to go to this matching party to meet a woman his friend knows. But of course my husband said no to that. He's actually told me all about how once he became famous, there have been all these people inviting him to parties trying to get him hooked up with someone. And of course, every single time he said no to them. And that's why on the day you were expecting to meet him, he said no to the invite because he had plans with me. Not like he was going to go there in the first place, though.
Wait, then that means the picture my mom took of you guys, the guy that's sitting right next to me is...
Now that you mention it, I think I know what happened. On that day, I'd met with 2 different men. I had dinner with my now husband, of course, but there was this random man that came to the restaurant before my husband arrived.
Are you telling me that the man sitting next to me is...
That's the random guy, I think. Well, he's not random to me anymore, but at the time he was. He so happens to be my husband's fashionable older brother. And he has a lot of borrowed money he's currently dealing with at the moment. My husband didn't end up inviting him to the wedding today, so that's why he's currently with you.
Older brother? And he's dealing with lots of borrowed money now?
On the day of our dinner date, he came in to talk with me about how he's the man I would be dating's older brother and that he needed our financial help. He knew about me being a publisher and tried to get me to start buying his own comics that he was making.
Comics?
He's always been a bit artistic as well when it comes to comics. But unlike his younger brother, he really sucks at illustrating and writing stories. So after reading one of those comics he was asking me to buy, I told him it was a no. He was told the same thing by many publishers actually, but he never gave up and soon went into major debt. Because he would never work a job, instead sitting in the house all day making those crappy comics.
He has never told me about how he makes comic books, and he sure has not told me about his debt. Anytime we've gone out on dates, he's always paid for me.
My husband's older brother had been married once before, and while he had a wife, he went to making comics because he noticed his younger brother doing so well from them. So with this dream of making loads of money himself doing what his brother did, he quit his job and started to draw and write. However, he spent all his time trying to make comics that he stopped spending any time with his wife and babies. So not too long after that, his wife took the baby and left. And ever since, he's been just digging and digging and digging himself into a deeper hole of debt.
You're lying, right? I never heard anything at all about that. He was married and he has a kid?
He's been trying to live a life of lies, and that's why he buys all of the really high-brand clothing. And if he were selling his comics instead of just continuing to write garbage, he'd probably be okay right now, but he hasn't been doing that. And instead keeps borrowing money to fuel his desire to buy every single piece of branded clothing. Fiona, you're going to marry him?
Hell no, not with a man like him. I don't need a man that can't become my bank.
Well, I'm planning on cutting ties to you soon. But if you get married to my brother-in-law, then we're going to have to continue being around one another a lot more than I like. So if you can, please break up with him right now.
Are you really married to that comic artist? You went and took my dream from me? And he chose to marry you over me? Why? I should be the one there right now married to him, not you. Had my mom not taken that picture at the wrong time, I could be there getting married to him.
It's actually really crazy that with just one picture, you were able to find my husband's brother and start dating him.
My mom told me that he left the restaurant before you did, and so she followed him out and asked for his number. She told him that she wanted to introduce him to a good friend of yours.
Aunt Laura really did it this time then.
That's why after seeing the photo my mom showed me and the number she handed me, I gave him a call.
So your mom thought that because he was sitting down with me at that time, that she was there, that he was my boyfriend, even though my actual boyfriend was running a little late. And seeing him walk out of the restaurant before his younger brother came to have dinner with me, she must have thought my boyfriend was heading home, and that's why she went out and got his number. Your mom just made a minor mistake is all then.
That's right, one minor mistake. I haven't done anything wrong here. She was the one who made the mistake. And I only started to go out with this guy because of that mistake.
But you were doing all of this with the intent of stealing my boyfriend all at the time, right? In the end, there was never a problem for me, but I now understand what you've been completely after. And this only proves that you haven't changed from the Fiona you were in the past, who always treated me like trash. Now that I've been able to clearly see that you're still a terrible person, I can gladly say that I'm cutting ties to you. I need to do this before you start actually causing trouble to my husband and I.
You can't cut ties to me that easily. I'm one of your best friends, and we've been together forever.
You might happen to know where our parents live, but you don't know my address, right? The only way we've stayed in touch is through text, and that's pretty much it. All I have to do is block you, and that'll be it from you. I'll also let everyone else around us know what happened and to keep their mouths shut.
Do you really plan on cutting ties to me? I was hoping that at the very least after today, your husband would introduce me to some of his wealthy friends.
No way would he do that for you. He would never want one of his friends being used like that. That's why today was the last time I talked to you. Goodbye forever now, Fiona.
Winter, please help. I heard all about this from Fiona. I made some mistakes and introduced Fiona to the wrong man. I was being too hasty at the time.
Aunt Laura, this isn't even about you making a mistake there. The fact that you wanted her to have my fiancé is the problem. Why would you try doing something like that to me?
Well, you and her are longtime best friends, right? You should be telling her about the men you're with right away.
It's a bit messed up for you to go out asking my supposed fiancé at the time for his number in order to give it to Fiona.
Well, that was just, well, for instance, the wedding after party, all right? Maybe they had some things they wanted to talk about regarding that.
I'd never told you anything about our wedding yet then, right? I told you I'd update you at a later time if we chose something. But I never did that either. Are you sure you weren't doing all of that because you were hoping that Fiona would steal my fiancé from me?
Well, Fiona should be the one getting married before you. It's screwed up that you were getting married before her.
I always had this feeling ever since your family and mine started hanging out that you guys looked down on my family quite often. But I never thought you were all just complete nut jobs. I'm sorry to tell you, but I've already gone and cut ties with Fiona. And I'm planning on doing the same with you now. I have no desire to be around you two anymore in my life, so please leave me alone and never come looking for me ever again.
You wait just a second. Fiona and that man have come and moved into my house. They have both been using all my money and they won't help with any of the chores here. And even worse than both of those things is that they are both sloppy pigs making my house into one huge mess that I can never ever clean up. My husband has been so upset by all this that he's asking to divorce me now. My family is a complete mess right now. Please help us.
So in the end, she decided it was easiest just to become your parasite then. Well, you're not going to be getting any help from me.
She's been your friend forever, right? You and her have always been playing with one another and grew up together.
But you're her family, right? You were the one that birthed her and everything. I think you and your husband are much more responsible for her than I am, so do something yourselves, please.
No way.
Aunt Laura, you have never really been that good of a person to me, but this time you helped me out a lot.
Wait a second, Winter. Are you really going to cut ties to me, too?
Please enjoy having your look-alike daughter and her partner back in the house with you. Goodbye now. Even though she was the one asking for all this, Aunt Laura ended up kicking both Fiona and her boyfriend from the house. Fiona had tried to break up with her boyfriend, but he wouldn't let that happen as he needed her money to survive, and so they both are currently living in a cheap apartment together, where he's using her money to make more comics. The only thing is, Fiona doesn't work a very good job right now, so her income isn't all that much each month.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Kelly, you've got some explaining to do. Why didn't you come to the class reunion yesterday? Do you have any idea how much I've been looking forward to seeing you all of these years? Believe me, I have an idea. I, however, have no interest in seeing you at all. In fact, considering the fact that you're an evil, backstabbing, conniving little witch, I'd rather never see your face again if I can avoid it. Why do you think I didn't come to the reunion? It was to avoid having to deal with you. Are you serious? Is that any way to talk to your best friend in the whole wide world? Best friend? You? You've got to be kidding me. You stole my boyfriends from me, June. You aren't my friend at all. much less my best friend. I promise you, June, I will never forget that for as long as I live. Oh, come on, really? You're still mad over a tiny little thing like that? Grow up! You're such a spoiled little brat, Kelly. Just like you were back in high school.
Oh, I'm the spoiled brat, am I?
Okay, so sure. Back in high school, I stole your boyfriend from you, but that was high school. It's been 10 years since we graduated, Kelly. I'm surprised you even remember that happening. It was all ancient history. Don't you think it's time you moved on? Let bygones be bygones?
Okay, let's say for the sake of this discussion that I did forgive you for that, which I never will. That still leaves a laundry list of the other cruel things you did to me back then. I'm not gonna let you sit over there and pretend you've forgotten all about that.
Huh? Wait, I did other stuff to you? Like what?
You weren't content with just stealing my boyfriend in high school. You followed me around during my college years too, and every time I started talking to a guy, you would jump in between us and sleep with him. I never had a chance to have an ordinary relationship in college thanks to you. And then, after I graduated, found a job, and thought I was rid of you, I met this guy at work who I had great chemistry with, and what did you do? You went out of your way to apply to my company through a temp agency. Then, the next day, after you started working, you posted a picture on your Instagram account of you and him in bed together.
I remember that now. His name was Julian, right? All I did was invite him out for a drink once, and he immediately took me back to his apartment.
So, yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with you again. I told you as much back then. What makes you think I'd have changed my mind by now? I turned down the invitation to the reunion the instant I heard you were coming.
Yeah, I was kind of a wild child back then, huh? Sorry. But hey, it wasn't all easy. I had some pretty rough times too. Imagine how I felt being betrayed by my own best friend. After you did that, I couldn't help but get back at you. Childish, I know, but I was in high school.
What are you talking about? I never betrayed you, not even once.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you think you're some kind of perfect little angel who's never done anything wrong in your life, but I will never forget what you did to me. I had a massive crush on the same boy ever since we were in daycare together. And then, once we got into high school, I finally had the courage to tell him how I felt and asked him to be my boyfriend, but he said no. And why was that? Because he had a crush on you.
What?
How do you think it felt to have my first love crushed by my own best friend? I went into a spiraling depression. I didn't eat anything for days. That's why I kept stealing your boyfriends away from you. That's why I took every chance to stop you from getting with the guys you liked. I had to. It was the only thing that would ease my pain.
Is this some kind of joke? You're saying you did all of this out of jealousy? You were jealous that the boy you had a crush on liked me more than you, so you followed me around for the next 10 years?
Yeah. And I said I was sorry. What else did you want from me? I'm older now. I'm a different person. I really regret doing all of that stuff. Well, some of it. And most importantly, drum roll please, I'm getting married.
What? You are?
I wanted to tell you in person at the class reunion, but you didn't come. That, and apologize properly for what I did to you when we were younger.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I really don't care about you getting married.
Huh?
I appreciate you wanting to apologize, and I'm glad that you say you've changed, but none of that changes anything for me. I still don't forgive you, and honestly, I doubt I ever will. So, congratulations on your wedding, June. I hope you find happiness.
I went out of my way to text you about my good news, and this is the reaction I get? Well, you might say you're not interested now, but I think that'll all change soon. Once I tell you a bit more about what I've been up to since we last met, you'll be dying to know more.
Why are you talking so cryptically?
Why spoil it now? I think I'll let it be a surprise. I cannot wait to see your reaction when you find out.
Hey, Harry, I'm sorry to bother you at work. This might seem a little sudden, but there's something really important I need to ask you about. Has there been an odd woman showing up around you lately?
No, not that I can think of. It's kind of a weird question. Can I ask what brought that on?
Well, it's a long story. There's this woman who's been practically stalking me for the last 10 years or so, and she's found me again. I just got concerned that maybe she was setting her sights on you next.
Huh? This still doesn't make any sense. What would this woman want with me?
Do you remember me telling you about an old friend of mine back in high school? She stole my boyfriend, the first boyfriend I ever had. And it wasn't just him. She put the moves on every single guy I was ever interested in for years. She texted me out of the blue just now.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about that weirdo chick. I thought vindictive psycho women like her only existed in movies, but I guess they really do exist in the real world, too. So that psycho messaged you today, huh? That is a bit suspicious.
It's really freaking me out, honestly. She told me she was getting married, and from the sounds of things, her fiancé is probably someone I know. She was talking really cryptically too, like she was hiding just enough of the details to make me nervous on purpose.
I see. You must have thought she'd gotten her hands on me then.
Well, you are my husband, and the only man in my life.
You don't have to worry about a thing, babe. You're the only woman in my life, and it's gonna stay that way until the very end. Plus, with work as busy as it is right now, I wouldn't even have enough free time to cheat on you.
Yeah, that is true. You've been staying over at the office lately a lot and everything. About how much longer do you think you're gonna be this busy, Harry?
I wish I knew it's gonna be like this for a while yet. One of the new recruits made the mistake of the century the other day.
Uh-oh.
He somehow managed to delete 3 months worth of data from the company's server. So now we've got to focus on getting that data all back before we can move any further. So yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch in my office for at least the next few weeks.
Wow, I'm sorry about that, Harry.
You don't have to be sorry about anything. I'm the one that should be sorry. Since I'm stuck over here, we can't work on getting ready for the wedding. We can barely even spend time together. But look on the bright side, since you know I'm holed up in my office staring at a computer screen all night, you can rest assured that I'm not sleeping with your psycho stalker.
That's not much of a bright side, but I'll take it. But just be careful, okay? Just because she hasn't contacted you yet doesn't mean that she won't. I'm probably thinking too much into it, but I just have a really bad feeling, you understand?
I totally understand, honey. I'll be sure to message you whenever I have the time. That should help to reassure you, right?
Thank you so much, Harry. Okay, well, I'll let you get back to work now. Go ahead and call me if you want a fresh cooked meal, okay? I'll bring it right over to your office.
So, tell me, Kelly, were you surprised? How did it make you feel when you saw my wedding invitation?
Well, yeah, I was definitely surprised. I didn't actually expect you to send me an invitation. I thought I offended you too much when I told you I wasn't interested.
That's not what I'm talking about, dummy. Don't tell me you didn't even open up the envelope.
Okay, I won't tell you.
Oh my god! You really didn't open it? Good grief. It's a wedding invitation. You don't just toss those on the counter and leave them there.
I already told you I didn't want to come. Why should I bother opening it? Put me down as not attending.
You're totally missing the points, Kelly. Go pick up the envelope and open it right now. And make sure you look very closely at the name of the groom. I think it might be somewhat of a familiar name to you, seeing as though it's your fiancé.
My fiancé?
Yep. Didn't I tell you? You must be really surprised right now. Oh, And just so you don't get any funny ideas, it's not a mere coincidence. And it's not that I just so happen to get engaged to someone who has the same first and last name as your fiancé. I'm engaged to your fiancé. Or should I say, ex-fiancé.
What's going on here, June? You're engaged to my fiancé? What?
It's quite simple, Kelly. A man that was briefly yours is now mine. I'm so sorry for stealing yet another man away from you, Kelly. But don't worry, this will be the last time, I swear.
This is unbelievable.
I'm not getting any younger, so I thought it would be a great time for me to lock in a good man for myself. But good grief, you would not believe how awful the dating scene is these days. I got tired of going to clubs and bars every night. Then, one day, I heard that you had finally snagged yourself a piece of happiness. I just couldn't let that happen. Not on my watch. So right then and there, I decided that I was going to steal your fiancé away from you and make my revenge complete.
It's one thing to hit on my boyfriends, but my fiancé? That's a whole new level of wicked.
Right? I was worried it was going to be a lot harder than all of the other times, but I couldn't believe how quickly he decided to just toss you aside. It was like taking candy from a baby. I had barely even met the guy, and he was already chomping at the bit to get with me. And it wasn't but a few dates after until he popped the question.
Okay. No, I don't believe you. There is no way at all that my boyfriend asked you to marry him. I get what's going on here. You heard I was getting married and who I was getting married to, but your usual tactics didn't work on him. So now you're making this all up in an attempt to make me suspicious of him. Well, it's not going to work. I trust him.
Believe it or not, it's the truth, and you're going to have to come to terms with it eventually, sweetie pie. I mean, you saw the invitation, right? There it is, black and white, clear as crystal. Your fiancé's name next to mine. Your fiancé proposed to me, and now he's my fiancé. He's breaking up with you to be with me. You have once again lost your man to me. I win, Kelly. You lose. Game over.
Well, that certainly is a convincing story. You're missing one very important detail, however. I'm already married, and we have a child together.
Huh?
So, no, there is no possible way that you could be getting married to him. Not to mention, you must have heard wrong, because the name on this invitation is not my husband's name. What are you even going on about, June? Are you drunk or something?
What? Hold on. This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean that's not your husband's name?
I mean just what I said. That's not my husband's name. Where did you get your information from anyway? They told you I was engaged, not married. We've been married for a while now. Plus, like I said, we already have a child together who's almost a year old now.
You have a kid? I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, we kind of did what they used to call a shotgun wedding. I found out I was pregnant one day, so we went and eloped the very same day. The baby was born healthy and strong, and we're currently living together, just as happy as can be.
No! That can't be true! It can't be! It's impossible! That is completely different from what I was told about you! I heard that you were still just engaged! I didn't know that you were married! Or had a kid!
I have no idea what sort of nonsense you heard about me, but if the rest of it is as accurate as that, then I can assure you it is all completely wrong. I'm not engaged to be married. I am married. I don't have a fiancé. I have a husband and a child. Also, the name on the invitation you sent me doesn't get my husband's first or last name correct, so you're 0 for 3.
This can't be happening! I'm so confused. You mean my fiancé isn't your boyfriend? But that doesn't make any sense. I got my information from a very reliable source.
Yeah? Then let's hear it, June. Where in the world did you get this, incorrect by the way, information about me and my husband? Who told you that I was engaged to whoever this guy is? Who is your very reliable source?
You're my source, Kelly. You are. I got all this information firsthand straight from you. So there's no possible way I could be wrong about any of this. I went to your house, in person.
What the? You went to my house? Are you serious?
Yeah, and I saw your fiancé walking out of your house. He got into his car and drove off, but I managed to follow him all the way back to the place where he works. So I know for a fact that I'm right. My fiancé is your boyfriend. He has to be. I'm 100% sure of it.
Wait a minute. You're saying you saw a guy with the same name going out of my house, but that's... Oh, wait a second. Now that I think about it, I may have actually seen this name somewhere before.
You have?
It's right on the tip of my tongue. Where do I know him from? I got it. I remember now. That's the name of one of the new recruits at my husband's company.
Wait, what?
Yep, I'm 100% sure of it. That's definitely who this is. My husband talks about this guy to me all the time. Apparently, this guy is an absolute disaster area. He keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake that costs the company tons of time and money. And my husband is unfortunate enough to be the guy that always has to be there to clean up the messes that he makes. It's thanks to your fiancé that my husband's been practically living at his office for the last month. Since he'd only been causing more catastrophic damage if he were around the office doing his actual job, my husband sends him to our house to pick up clean clothes, meals, and that sort of thing. At least he seems to be self-conscious of his incompetence. The other day, he came by to pick up dinner for my husband, and he said, I guess if it doesn't work out for me at this company, I can always try being the Uber Eats driver.
You have got to be kidding me!
I bet it was at a time like that when you saw him coming out of my house, June. About a month or so ago, he was coming by the house just about every night to get something or another.
So, you mean I did get the wrong guy? He's really not your fiancé? I've been operating under the assumption that he was for all this time. That's the only reason I worked so hard to get him interested in me. I thought I was stealing him away from you.
And good grief. Am I glad you screwed that up so badly? I've been terrified ever since you started texting me a month ago that you were gonna steal yet another important person away from me.
This sucks so hard. Come on. I can't believe this. How could I mess up so badly? I thought for sure I was going to see you have a complete emotional breakdown. I thought I was going to break you so hard you'd be thrown into a mental asylum. But now I found out I got the wrong guy. God damn it. And the worst part is, we already got married. We eloped at the county courthouse just the other day.
What? You already got married to him? This is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. You got married to a guy under completely false pretenses.
This is the worst! I'm so pissed off right now. I waited years for this moment, and now it's ruined.
Hey, getting mad at me isn't going to solve anything. And hey, it's not all bad, is it? So what? You got the wrong guy. You still got a guy, didn't you? You got married. Congratulations, June. For 10 years, you've been living with a broken heart from your first love turning you down. But now, you've got a man who's promising to love you forever.
I can't do that!
Think about it. You might have been under the wrong impression, but he still chose you. He loves you for who you are. You should be thrilled. I'd say the best thing for you to do would be to turn over a new leaf and live out the rest of your days as his loving wife.
I don't need or want any advice from you, Kelly, so you can skip the stupid lectures. But as much as I hate to admit it, you kind of have a point. It really does suck that he wasn't your fiancé, and that is a major buzzkill. But he still works at the same company as your husband does, and that's one of the most powerful IT firms in the state. I guess I can just be satisfied in the fact that I landed myself a man with job security and a rapidly growing industry.
Huh?
Maybe this arrangement won't be so bad after all. The one thing that really kills me is the fact that my husband is your husband's subordinate. But I think I can manage to live with that now. With a high-value woman like me at his side, I think I can give him the push he needs to be better and further his career. Who knows? Maybe if I push him hard enough, he'll be your husband's boss someday. That's it. That's going to be my new motivation in life. I still have a shot to get my revenge on you, Kelly, and this time I won't mess it up.
June, your husband doesn't work for the company anymore. He resigned. Uh-oh. Does that mean that your fiancé withheld a really important piece of information for when you got married?
He resigned?
It's like I was telling you earlier, June. Your husband was making a ton of mistakes, and not just minor ones. Big mistakes. The kind of mistakes that affect a company's bottom line. That's what made my husband turn his office into an Airbnb. What's worse is that your husband recently made his biggest mistake yet, like the mother of all mistakes. As patient as my husband is, this one was just too much for him to handle. In one final act of mercy, my husband encouraged your husband to resign from the company immediately, rather than wait until the end of the tribunal that would inevitably result in him getting fired for cause.
No, I don't believe it. He never told me about any of that. He lied to me?
Sounds like you and your husband need to sit down and have a little heart-to-heart talk then. Now, you both have something important to confess to each other. You dated him under the assumption that you were stealing him from me, and he married you while hiding the fact that he quit his job. I'm sure the two of you can find some way to come to an understanding. And with that, I'll be taking my leave for the night. Remember, I will not be attending your wedding, so please don't prepare a seat at the reception for me.
Well, this is just great. You were right. He really did quit his job. How could he lie to me like that? What a scumbag. Oh, but he said he was keeping it a secret so that I wouldn't worry about him. Ha. Yeah, right. What a loser.
I understand how it feels, honestly. If I were just about to get married, I wouldn't want my fiancé to know that I had quit my job either.
Stop trying to console me. It's not helping. Not only did I fail at stealing your fiancé from you, I didn't even get the consolation prize of getting married to a guy working for a decent company. He resigned 2 weeks before our wedding, too. Who does that?
Don't worry, June. Everything's gonna be fine. If he had the kind of resume that would get him into my husband's company, I'm sure he'll be able to find a good job elsewhere. You just need to be patient with him. Give him some time.
Oh yeah, right. I'll wait for him to get another job, just for him to lose it again.
Huh? What do you mean, June?
It turns out he's been working his butt off in secret to find a new job before I realized what was going on. He actually managed to land a new job after just a week of job hunting, so everything's fine, right? Wrong. He made so many mistakes in his first 3 days on the job that they fired him already. 3 days? How do you mess up so bad that they don't even want to give you a whole week?
Yikes. That's really too bad, June. Harry had always told me that your husband was a disaster waiting to happen, but that's insane. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone getting fired that quickly. It's a big waste of time and money for the company, too. In most cases, they just keep you on until they got a replacement for you.
It's like he's trying to make all those mistakes. Oh, and another thing, he also happens to have the worst luck in the world. He left confidential company documents on the bus on his way to work. He realized it right away, though, and when he got back on the bus to get his bag, someone already stole it.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
Then the next day, he borrowed a company car to go visit a client. He stopped by a convenience store on the way back to get a snack, and guess what happened while he was inside? Someone smashed all his windows and stole his bag, which contained confidential company documents again. His company fired him on the spot as soon as he got back. They're even demanding that he pay for the cost of the repairing of the car's windows.
Holy cow. I'm starting to feel bad for the poor guy. This is awful luck.
I thought I was gonna be on the fast track to the sweet life with him. I had resigned myself to being married to him and thought I would just have to try and make the best of it. I even came up with a brand new way of getting my revenge against you. But now, what am I gonna do? Why did I have to go and marry the wrong guy? Why couldn't it have been your husband coming out of your house that day? I wouldn't have cared. I still would have tried to steal him from you. I probably would have made it feel even better.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that you'd have no qualms with trying to start an affair with a married father. So, I guess this can only mean that your current situation is divine punishment for being such an evil person.
I'm not evil.
You are, but don't let that hold you back. After all, your husband needs the loving support of his wife to propel his career forward. If you can do that, I'm sure you'll still find happiness in life.
Screw that! How am I supposed to be happy living with a guy who makes mistakes as often as he breathes?
You'll have to come up with an answer to that for yourself. Oops, my kid's crying. Gotta go. Enjoy your newlywed life with your darling husband, June. June's husband got right back to looking for a new job, and he found another one in short order, from which he was then fired in short order. As a result, June was left with no choice but to become the family's breadwinner herself, and her husband decided to give up working altogether and become a full-time housewife, or house husband. Is that a thing? In any case, it's definitely not a thing for him. He burns the food when he cooks, burns the shirts when he's ironing them, and burns through their limited finances with his awful spending habits. So, yeah, they're having quite the eventful newlywed life. It seems like June must be pretty busy because she hasn't sent me a single message ever since. I heard that she's too busy to make next year's class reunion, so it looks like I'll be able to go to this one this time. Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Zara! What is this I hear about you living in a fancy new condo building right about the metro stop? What happened? What kind of tricks did you use to land such an amazing place to live?
I didn't use any kind of trick, thank you very much. I pay for that place and so I get to live in it. It really is just that simple.
But what I want to know is how you can afford to pay the rent in such a place like that. I just happened to be out in the city doing some shopping when I saw you go into that huge condo building. At first I thought I must have been seeing things, but it was really you. I'm sure of it.
Well, that would make sense considering the fact that I'm living there now. I told you earlier about how I was going to be getting married to my boyfriend, right? Well, we did that, and we moved into this place to live together.
So then you've been living there since you got married? And does that mean that it's your boyfriend who makes you enough money to let you live there? That's amazing! I had no idea about any of this.
What do you mean?
I mean, how did a shabby basic girl like you land such a great guy? I could only ever see you getting with someone on your level, but instead you managed to find a guy rich and nice enough to let you live in a big condo with him. Just how did you find a guy like that?
Okay, Mom, you really need to calm down for just a little bit. First of all, it isn't my husband who's paying for this place. I am.
Oh, please. Do you think I'm going to buy that? You've always been such a fussy girl and you never even went to college. Do you really think I'm going to believe that you can afford to rent at a place like that?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
You've always been such a difficult girl to deal with, ever since you were little. Do you know that? I was ready to send you to any of the best schools in the country, but you said that you wanted to start working already, and so you did, just that, after high school. But I said, fine, just as long as you live at home until you earn some savings, but then you just moved out and never came back. Do you have any idea how worried I was when you hardly ever called me? And now the only reason I know when you're living now is just by complete chance.
You really haven't changed at all, have you, Mom? It's clear that you've already made up your mind about what's going on in my life, and I don't see the point in saying anything more.
I just want to know, How my no good daughter ended up with such a good man. It sounds to me like you would have been better off marrying someone like your little sister, Rita.
Excuse me? Did you really just say that?
Well, Rita is nothing like you. She was actually a good girl and very easy to deal with. Not to mention the fact that she would actually listen to me and went to college when I offered it to her. And now she's my pride and joy who works for one of the largest companies in the country. If only she could find a man just as good as she is, then things would be perfect.
Oh, so you mean that your perfect other daughter still hasn't found a man? Maybe you should just find one for her since you handed Rita everything on a silver platter. I'm sure she'd love to get married to whatever man you picked out for her.
I bet you think you're so clever talking to me like that. Well, you just wait until I do find a man for your sister. Because it's obvious to me that I can't count on you for anything. It's no wonder you'll never be truly happy.
Hey, Zara, is everything okay? Mom is grumbling about you a lot more than usual today, and I was wondering if something happened between you two.
Yes, we had a talk. More like a fight, but I'm used to it now. Is Mom really making that big of a deal of it back at the house?
Well, she's stomping around and slamming things on the table and kind of just acting like a big baby. And earlier she asked me if I wanted to find a boyfriend, and then she showed me all these pictures of guys who I guess she's ready to try and set me up with. She said something about having to one-up you and get married quickly. Well, she said she wanted me to find a better husband than you as fast as I could. Can you believe that?
Oh, jeez. Mom really needs to learn to chill out sometimes. I wonder if she even realizes how she sounds saying those sorts of things.
But I also heard from Mom that you and your husband have moved into this really cool condo building. I think that might have been what set it off for Mom. Not only did she not know you were married, but you married rich and didn't tell her.
Well, I'm sorry that you're always getting sucked into this drama between Mom and I. I always feel bad for how much trouble I've probably caused you with all of this.
Zara, I really don't think that you have anything to apologize for at all. In fact, if anything, I'm the one who should be worrying about you. I mean, I know you two are already legally married, but are you sure that you want to have your wedding be just the two of you?
Well, I don't really think that Mom would even want to come to something like that. And if I just invited you and Dad, then it would be a mess for everyone involved. I've already explained about our family to my husband, and he says that he understands, and it's okay doing a tiny wedding with just us.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure with you. But in that case, I'll swing by sometime soon, and with your wedding presents, of course. Plus, I want to see this huge condo that you're living in.
Yes, please. You have to come and see it. We're pretty busy still unpacking since we literally just moved in, but once we've got some of that done, I'd love for you to come see it. You and your boyfriend are welcome to come in here at any time.
I can't wait! Just let me know when is a good time to come over, okay? We have to have a little party to celebrate a new house and a wedding soon.
Hello, Zara. I have something that I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm wondering if now is a good time.
Hello, Mom. This is a weird way for you to start a conversation with me, but okay. What's up?
You really just want to cut right to the chase, don't you? Okay then. Zara, I want you to let Rita marry your fiancé. It's clear to me that whoever this guy is, he's a better match for Rita than he is you.
You want me to let Rita marry my fiancé? You can't be serious about that.
I'm afraid that I'm very serious, Zara. I have been searching all month for a man for Rita but still haven't found one. But then I realized that I already know someone who knows a man with a good background and who makes much money. You were just holding him for your sister this whole time, weren't you?
You really think that I'm gonna go along with a word of what you're saying right now?
Well, of course you are. In fact, after doing some looking around, I think I do remember meeting this man of yours. Even I don't remember him at all that well. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't a fatty, and I believe he also went to a pretty good school too.
I suppose both of those things are true, yes.
Plus, he must be young and have enough money to afford living in a luxury condo, so I just know he'd be perfect for Rita.
Mom, you do know that Rita's already engaged to be married, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? How dare you try and bring your little sister down to your rotten level? Unlike you, Rita understands that I'm always right about whatever I say. There's no way that she would be like you and just not tell me she was engaged.
Do you really think that Rita's some kind of mindless drone who just follows orders? And do you really think it's okay to force your kids to go to a college they don't want to go and work in a field that they dislike?
You have no idea what you're talking about. It's the job of a good parent to guide their children to success.
That's not what I think is happening here.
Well, that explains why you are the way you are. But if a child wants to grow up into a happy adult, then they need to do everything that their parents tell them to. And if they don't, then they end up like a problem child like you. That's why I tell people that I only have one daughter, and it's Rita.
I see, so you don't even think of me as your daughter anymore.
Of course not. And I also don't think that you should be with a guy as good as you are. You didn't go to college, and now you're just marrying rich to get out of having to find a real job. I'm sure that whoever this man is, he'll regret being with you very soon.
And just what makes you think that, huh?
Let me guess. After you two got married, you quit whatever little part-time job you had just to be a housewife. And now you're just lying around doing nothing all day while your husband is doing all the hard work. I just know that there isn't a man alive who can stand being with a woman who acts like that. That's why it's better for everyone involved if you just hand him over to your sister.
Hold on a second, just why do you think that I'm not working and living off of my husband? Do you even realize how hurtful some of these assumptions are?
Do you really think I care about how you feel when it comes to any of this? The only thing I care about right now is making sure that my real daughter is happy. And I know that she won't be happy until she has a husband who's as good as she is. That's why you need to give up your man for her.
I don't even know why I bother wasting my time when you're not going to listen. Although I just have to say that I can't believe you would literally try to steal one daughter's groom to give to another.
Well, if you don't want me to take him from you, then you better just give him up. A no-good brat like you doesn't deserve to have someone so great.
Actually, my husband did graduate near the top of his class at a great university, but he certainly isn't rich. So I don't understand why you think I married him for something that he doesn't have. Although if you really want, I guess I can just do what you say and hand him over.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he isn't rich? He's paying for you both to live in that huge condo. He must make a ton of money.
I told you already that I'm the one who pays for the condo. Meanwhile, he works as a freelancer, and the amount of money he brings in can really depend on the month. So that's why I pay the rent and utilities.
You have got to be kidding me.
In exchange, he takes care of all the housework for us. We have a really good thing set up, and our relationship isn't just based on money. So I wish you would stop trying to make this about money.
You have got to be lying to me. If he really went to a good school, then how could he not make that much money? You've always been a little liar ever since you were little, and you're doing it again now. You're the one who doesn't make that much money. I know it. You're just lying because you don't want me to take away your man. You really are a terrible daughter, do you know that?
I told you that you wouldn't believe me no matter what I said. But okay, why don't you try searching my name online and see what comes up? I assume it wouldn't be hard to find the business that I'm running as well as my picture on the board of directors page. Maybe that'll make you finally believe what I'm telling you.
Hold on a second. You're managing a company? Someone who doesn't even have a college degree is running a company?
Well, it's actually always been my dream to be a company president ever since I was little. But you said that that wasn't a good job for a woman to have, and you never really showed me any support. That's why after I graduated high school, I wanted to go out and get some real life experience. Luckily, I found a job in my field and used that as a jumping off point to build my career. And now I run a company and live in a huge condo.
This has got to be some sort of sick joke, right?
I've told you 3 times now that I'm the one who's paying the rent. So I'll keep the house, but if you really want my freelancer, I guess I can hand him over to Rita. She might even be happy to finally be getting married.
Wait a minute. That means that this man isn't a good fit for Rita at all. He might have a good education, but if he doesn't make money, then all of that will cause trouble for Rita in the future.
But unlike me, Rita is brilliant, remember? She's your pride and joy and only daughter you admit to having. She doesn't need a man to provide for her, don't you think? Anyways, I'll tell my man that he needs to start packing his bags, I guess.
Zara, oh my gosh, you totally took me by surprise. I mean, your husband was just in my house and told me that he'd come to marry me. You should have messaged me sooner so I knew that this was all a prank. It took me a while to figure out what was actually going on.
Oh man, I'm really sorry, but that's too funny. But you're right, I was at work and I couldn't give you a call, so I'm sorry about that. I knew you'd be able to figure it out on your own though, so I wasn't worried.
Well, you're lucky I caught on, because I talked to Fred and then I told Mom I was moving out. I told her we were going to get married, but we're just waiting in a cafe now.
You mean you went along with it? Thank you so much, Rita.
You don't need to thank me. I actually use this to my advantage as well, you know.
Oh really? How'd you do that?
Well, this was finally my excuse to move out of the house. So, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have to borrow your husband for a little while longer. He's going to help me make it, so I move out of Mom's place permanently.
You mean you really want to move out?
I've wanted to. For a long, long time, actually. But, you know, Mom, she would never allow it. She was always so worried something that would happen to me if I left the house by myself. I tried asking Dad to talk some sense into Mom, but she wasn't having any of it.
I had no idea she'd gotten that bad.
But now, this is my chance to finally escape. And you already told her that Fred is a freelancer and that you own a condo, right? I bet that means that Mom is going to be really against me marrying this guy. I'm going to use that guy as my ticket out of here.
You mean you're really going to run off with my husband for a while?
Well, I'm going to let Mom think until she gives up. Even though she'll be against the wedding, I'll tell her that we're madly in love and that we're eloping far away.
Well, it doesn't sound like the worst idea I've ever heard. In fact, knowing how sensitive Mum is about her reputation, I'm sure that she wouldn't tell a soul about this, given how scandalous it all sounds. If there's anything you want me to do to make it more convincing, just let me know.
I'll tell Mom that we're eloping, and as soon as I find a place to live, I'll give Fred back to you. So hopefully this won't take more than a day or two.
If that's how long you need him for, then you've got him. Maybe the 3 of us can meet up and look for a place for you. My work's finally settling down, and I think I should be able to get some time off.
That would be amazing if you could help me. I'll send you the address for the cafe. Just look for Fred and I. Zara, what are we going to do? Your sister has run off and she hasn't come back. She told me that she was going to marry your fiancé and then ran off. And that was yesterday.
I guess Rita isn't the good obedient girl you thought she was.
I don't know what's gotten into her. We can't let her marry this man. It'll be horrible for her. You have to get a hold of her and tell her that I made a mistake in choosing him for her. She said that she fell in love with Fred at first sight, and I think they ran off to get married.
Wow, so things move pretty quickly for them, I guess. I never knew that Rita was that kind of girl.
This isn't the time to be joking. We have to do something.
I think that you should probably just respect the wishes of your daughter and let her have this, don't you think?
What are you talking about? Don't you know how embarrassing it will be for me to tell people my golden girl ran off with her sister's fiancé?
Well, I guess I'm glad you have your priorities straight.
You don't understand. All my neighbors just love Rita and talk about what an amazing girl she is. How am I supposed to face them now?
But isn't the happiness of your favorite daughter more important than anything else?
I got it. How about you come here to live with me and then I tell everyone how amazing my other daughter is?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a horrible decision for me. Besides, you already made it very clear to me that you didn't think of me as your daughter. And now, thanks to your meddling in our lives, you've lost both your daughters. Send Dad my love. In the end, Rita never came back, and Mom only became more ashamed of what had happened. She stopped talking to all her neighbors and even stopped leaving the house. Rita and I explained the truth of what happened to our dad and asked him to keep our secret. He understood and agreed. And after that, Fred and I were finally able to have our tiny wedding. Meanwhile, Rita is living her dream of an independent life and was overjoyed at the realization that she would get to decorate her apartment however she liked.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.